So a video had went viral a couple of days, and it's obvious of why. I cannot play the video. If you've seen it, you know why. And if you haven't seen it, I'm sure the video is still easy to find. It is still trending. It is still trending. The video is 7 minutes long. I will try to pronounce these names as best as I can. 32-year-old Sharon Njeri Mwangi, also known as Sharon. She's standing in a living room and she takes a container of something and she pours it into a cup. The man says in his native tongue, I don't know if it's Swahili or I'm really not sure, but he says, "Mix them together well, drink." She mixes it and she throws whatever was in the container at him. She drinks it and then she throws the cup at him. And she says, "I'm done," meaning she digested whatever was in the cup. A lot of articles are just saying concoction. I also read that it was pesticide, and I also read that it was stuff for bed bugs. So whatever it wasn't fit for human consumption, and she drank it. She then goes over to the sofa and she lays down for a couple seconds. She's speaking in her native tongue to a child who is still in the other room. And then in plain English, she says, "Tell my kids I love them." And then she also says, "They should never suffer," in Swahili. I guess it's Swahili. I'm not sure. She's now foaming and she is drooling at the mouth. And she is calling the children that's in the other room. They're still not in the room with her. But she says, "I want to die." Very clear, "I want to die." She calls for the children again. Nicknames, I guess she calls them Mama and Papa. And she says, "I am dying." She's foaming at the mouth and she's sitting up. The man is still recording. This man is her husband. Some articles say her fiance, but they've been together since 2015. More of the articles was calling him Michael Machara. Some called him Edward Iranjo. I don't know. But he's a popular DJ called DJ Brownskin. So now Brownskin, he calls for auntie. You know, that's a term that they use in other countries to describe another woman that is somewhat like a mother figure. So he calls for auntie. They also call her housemaid, housekeeper. She looks very young. A lot of people think or thought that this was one of her children. Now, Sharon is breathing very, very hard. The man is still recording. She's gasping for air. She's making strange noises. She's pulling on her clothes. She's fidgety, very uncomfortable. She falls off the sofa, and now she's more towards her husband. Now, some Kenyans have translated and says that he told the housekeeper to bring milk, and that's exactly what the housekeeper did. He also says that Sharon has had an overdose, and Sharon is not taking the milk, even though auntie is trying to hand her the milk, but she's not. People that watch this video describe her as being in severe pain. She has her back towards his leg. Now remember, he's sitting on the couch and she's on the floor with her back towards his leg, leaning on him. He doesn't care. He doesn't move. It's very hard to watch. Now the children come in and they're watching their mother on the floor now at her husband's feet. He's still recording. She's moaning. She's groaning. And the video ends. People are cruel. They're saying harsh things. It's now split down the middle. Oh, the woman, she's deserved it. She was annoying. She was filled with drama. Oh, the man, he's a narcissist. He's horrible. He's a psychopath. So it's divided. That's all it is divided. So I was trying to look into this a little bit more to really figure out what was going on. I even ran across one article. I couldn't find anything else, but one article from one people saying that video, Sharon did not die in that video. She actually unlived herself another way weeks later. Now, we know by now when tragedy happens like this, people always throw their 2 cents in that's not needed, and it's just stuff that they just concocted. And I don't know why people do this, but they have way too much time on their hands to already make a very tragic situation, even worse, or they make fun of it, which is horrible. But I did find a picture of Sharon in a hospital. You can't tell if she is here or not here, but she's in the bed. Now, people say he took that video so that he could prove to his woman or his women that she's gone finally, and I am free man. That's what they say. Now, with all this information that I gathered, I didn't know what was true or false and still don't, but you will have to make your own conclusions. People who knew Sharon say that she's a very hard worker and believe that around COVID, she may have been suffering some type of mental illness. And it was a very tough time for a lot of us, and it's still a tough time for a lot of us because we are still in COVID. And they say that she was working, she's paying all the bills. They had to move and find a cheaper house. Brown skin wasn't earning enough money around then because who was needing a DJ around then when the world was literally, we thought the world was dying. So who was going to need a DJ? So whatever she was doing, she was a worker, an essential worker. So she was able to work and make all the money. And in relationships, that's what you do. In long-term relationships, marriages, that's what you do. It's never going to be 100% on both every day. Sometimes it's, 80-20. Sometimes it's 50-50. Sometimes it's, 60-40. It depends. So now she was picking up most of the weight then. Then, a year and a half or so later, he starts getting DJ gigs and he starts making money. The money's flowing. They're doing a little bit better. They're able to, I think, move again because around this time, he supposedly has a mistress living not too far from him. So there was a lot of infidelity, they're saying, on both parts. Now there is a Facebook page under DJ Brownskin, and he lists a couple of reasons of why this may have occurred. And he basically says he not only caught his wife with his best friend once, but he caught her with his best friend twice. And people are commenting on that, and people are saying it's a fake page. And I agree, it's a fake page. This page was made 3 days ago, right when this situation had came to where everybody knew about what was going on. This Facebook page was made. Now, the real DJ Brownskin has a Facebook page that was made in 2019, and I looked on it, and publicly, he doesn't have any kind of post that says anything close to that. So I do believe that that is a fake page. So there was some infidelity on both parts, allegedly, because we don't know if she has done anything, but they also say that he had a mistress and he had plenty of women. He's a DJ. I'm just saying, I know DJs. I know back in the day, DJs or something. And I'm not saying he did or I'm not saying he didn't, but he started to cheat. And they also had said that night, because this all occurred, this video was in the morning. That night, Sharon had been drinking. And she was trying to call her best friend, a woman by the name of Angela Wawara, Wawira. This was her best friend, who she had found out was actually having an affair with Brownskin, her husband. And she was trying to call Angela, and Angela was not answering. And they said this also might have been one of the reasons why she decided to unlive, because, not only was her husband, philandering with other women, but her best friend. So it seems that these two were going through, like I said, infidelity and probably a bunch of other things that unfortunately we will never know. When Sharon's father had found all this out, he said he didn't even know that they were even going through any kind of hard times. So just a whole terrible circumstances. People say that, the way he filmed it, and he was pretty much egging her on to do stuff. And she did it, and maybe she didn't want it to go that far, but it went that far. But we see that she did make it to the hospital, but I think that's where she was pronounced dead. Sharon has children. I think she has 2 or 3, but I know the last one, the baby's his, but I think she has a child, an older child from another relationship. And it's just sad because this actually happened July 29th, 2022. And for some reason, we just now are finding out about this because this video had went viral. Also, I want to point out that they said these are Sharon's friends. They're saying that a lot of these women was calling Sharon and mocking her and sending, her pictures of them half dressed, undressed, sending her messages that, her husband may have sent in. That all seems to be pretty much something that happens everywhere. That's what happens, Unfortunately, it is when you have these stupid women that thinking that they're getting back at you because you're, messing with your husband or whatever. And then when it's on them, it's a totally different story. People just really need to grow the hell up. But that's a whole nother story. And a lot of people are saying this is just a mentally ill woman that did this. It was drastic what she did. It was terrible what she did. And the fact that he just sat there, mix it well, drink, and just recorded it with the babies in the next room. Then he's, summons the housekeeper to bring milk. Just very tragic. Like, what happened to where they got to this point? And people are going through this right now, to where it just gets bad. When it starts to get to the point where you don't even want to look at this person, it's time to get away. It is. I don't care if you have to sneak off and never come back. It's just time to give it away. And so this video was made sometime last year in July. And all of a sudden, it goes viral. And whoever put it on the internet for the world to see, put it on the internet April 1st. It's April Fool's Day. So that's very telling. Could it have been one of DJ Brownskin's women telling him that he's a fool? Who knows? But that is very telling. That is very telling. Now, I don't know about this part, but they're saying that he needs to be arrested, and some say he has been arrested and they're fighting, of course, on the internet. Why is he getting arrested? He didn't do anything. Well, he didn't stop it neither. But people are arguing about, should he be arrested or should he not be arrested? But they said he has been arrested. I don't know. Unfortunately, it's way in Kenya. A lot of stuff is getting lost in translation. But the only thing that I can say, that's all the information I could pretty much gather on this. But the only thing that I can say that I know is definitely true is this woman died in July of 2022, leaving her children behind, whatever was going on in that situation. She was heartbroken. She was heartbroken. Rest in peace, Sharon.